This is another one of those videos. I don't know if I'll upload or not. There's lots of videos I upload and set to private, or I just keep on my phone because I use these videos to vent a lot. I probably wouldn't be making this video if I didn't feel so bad. Don't want to get into all the health shit, but you want to say things while you still can. And this topic has been on my mind a lot. The topic of, why does your mom hate me? I'll go back just a little bit because some of y'all too young to really know what all was going on. When your mom got pregnant with Willow, that's when she stopped working. That was agreed upon by both of us. I worked and she stayed at home with our children. I mean, that's a very important job, I think. It beats, putting a child in a nursery, So yeah, I worked, and your mom stayed at home, and my parents gave us some money, not on the regular, but they certainly made it a lot easier for Tess to stay at home. But I was working in really dangerous, back-breaking jobs, called very dangerous chemicals. I was away from home a lot. And then I started working at the county so I could be home on the regular. That was a tough job. Man, that was tough. I mean, I'd worked jobs before while we were married, where I'd come home and basically my entire body would shut down. I'd be cramping and twitching and in agony, just from a lack of electrolytes, I guess. But I don't know, being over the road, that's dangerous and lonely too. But, whatever. When you have kids, you do what you have to do. So we stayed in that kind of pattern till, I guess, 2014. And my heart had been going bad. I lost my CDL, my ability to operate heavy machinery. Pretty much my money maker, the only thing I knew how to do. And I went on disability. I think that was 2014. The same year Storm was born. He was born slightly before I wasn't able to work anymore. Never thought I'd miss work, but hey, it is who it is. Anyhow, so then we moved, and we moved next to a couple and had some serious issues. I mean, all couples do. I'm not going to name this couple. Yeah, I'm sure y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyhow, I'd also had some back issues. I was in a lot of pain. Started, unfortunately, seeing a pain doctor. I wish I'd never done that. Started abusing the Oxy and the Xanax because I was weak mentally. And I turned into someone that I really do not like and I'm ashamed of. You know, I can't fault your mother. She was a good wife, you know, and until she wasn't. The only fault I have with your mother is that I would ask her, you know, hey, is everything okay? Because, you know, even though I was, you know, a zombie, I could kind of pick up on things. And your mother would never tell me, you know, what was wrong. She would never have an honest conversation with me. So when all the, you know, shit flared up, it caught me totally by surprise. I didn't know what was happening. But anyhow, so anyhow, yeah, I became emotionally dead, totally unavailable. And to my children, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry I wasn't the father that you deserved. And to my wife, I've already apologized, but I apologize again because I'm not going to be making many more of these videos. I'm sorry that I was not a better husband. You deserved better. But let's be clear here about some things, okay? I was never physically abusive. I never hit your mother or y'all. I never threatened to. I never implied it. I never engaged in violent behavior like throwing plates against the wall or, you know, something like that. Yelling. Never did that. I never cussed your mother. I mean, I never even said so much as F you or called her a B or let alone a C. I never cheated on her. We always had what we needed. You know, whatever that was. I mean, y'all never went hungry. Lights never got turned off for water. We always had a roof over our head. So yeah, when we first started dating, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I knew that, well, I believed that your mom was bisexual because she had dated women before. I didn't have a problem with that. I've never had problems with anybody's preference, you know, sexually. It just doesn't matter to me. As long as you're not, you know, shoving it in my face or whatever. But now, you know, with all the trans stuff, you know, the gay stuff seems quaint. It was kind of a little bit more of a radical social notion that, you know, gays deserve marriage and could be seen out in the open, you know, back in the 90s. So, you know, and I got all that, man. You know, she lived in a small town. I think that she started dating me as an escape from that small town and small town thinking. And I think she was trying to deny her true nature, you know, which I think she's a lesbian. I mean, and I can't blame her, man. I mean, she tried. You know, she tried to live this quote-unquote normal life. And I hope she's happy now. I hope she found happiness. I've never wished any ill on her. Didn't matter. Never wished ill on her. So, anyhow. So here we are. We're living in this new house. And, you know, I'm just gone. Meanwhile, our neighbor, her husband had been cheating on her. He'd been going to various parks and engaging in sexual encounters with men. And she was sick at the time. She told me, I'd divorce him if I wasn't sick, if I didn't have this, issue. But she wasn't sure, if she was going to survive, and the kids needed a father and everything like that. So, I kept on, abusing drugs, going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. I eventually had a psychotic break. Again, not proud of any of this. It is what it is. I got in too deep. Haven't touched a pill since, except for like aspirin or whatever. Yeah, stay away from drugs. So that's when just everything exploded. I went and had that psychotic break where I visualized, I dreamt that I was watching all these violent things. Maybe it was a warning for my psyche, to, hey man, unless you clean up, this is what's going to happen. And it may have, I don't know. Who knows what the future holds? I don't think so. But again, when you're, abusing drugs, you're not really thinking rationally. So anyhow, like I said, I did 5 years of very intensive therapy. Well, not therapy, I guess. I went to NA meetings. I saw a psychologist, and all that's long behind me. Excuse me. So anyhow, God, sorry, I'm a little nauseous today. Nausea is a pain in the ass. I was hoping that the nausea was done with, but I was pretty much nauseous for the entirety of 2023. But whatever. So anyhow, so after I had that psychotic break, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling here. My mind isn't very good these days. After that psychotic break, things between me and your mother, I dried out for a week in Mississippi, completely cold turkey. And I talked to your mom on the phone, and that's when, I could tell that something was not right, or something was not usual. Now, your mother came to believe, I guess, I don't know if she really believed it or not, that I was faking the pain I was in. I was not. And I think that once you start taking those pain pills, on a real, constant basis, I think your body starts to hurt a little bit if you don't have them. And so that was part of the issue, I think. But also, I just got a really messed up back. I walked with a cane for a year while your mom and I were dating, after we went and saw Stomp downtown Mobile. And I guess they stomped on my spinal column. But anyhow, and if you saw me now, you'd understand that I have these serious mobility issues. Anyhow, your mom became convinced that I was faking being hurt. And all of this, you got this neighbor, who's promoting her, getting a divorce, because she wants to live vicariously through your mom. And she had this background as someone who helped women, in shelters and stuff. So she started telling your mother that I was violent. I'm not a violent person. I've never been violent. But that's what she convinced your mother of. Basically, this woman just threw a lot of gas on the fire. Now, I don't blame your mother for the divorce. Excuse me. I know the last 2 years I wasn't a good husband. I don't think that negates everything that I did for the 14 years before that, or 16 years, whatever. But hey, your mother had the opportunity to go live an authentic life, and the only thing it cost her was crucifying me. If she could paint this picture of me as this lying, manipulative, violent, I don't know what else, just all this shit, man. So she initiated the divorce. I did not want that. I loved your mom. Loved her very much. I remember one time I was at work, and a guy accidentally slipped and dropped a concrete block on my ring finger of my left hand. Broke it. It was swollen. They took me to a clinic or hospital or whatever. The doctor said he'd have to cut off my wedding ring. I said, that's not going to happen. That's a symbol of my marriage. I loved your mom. I was really fucked up in the head, but I loved her. And sure enough, before we even divorced, I think, she was dating a woman. So, I don't know. Said, I think she's a lesbian, but maybe not. Maybe she's just bisexual. Maybe she's with a man now. I don't know. I hope she's happy. I hope she doesn't have to work. Hope she has a faithful partner. What can I do? I've offered, when we were still in the separation phase, I offered to co-parent. She didn't want that. She did everything she could to keep y'all from me. I'm sure she told y'all innumerable lies and exaggerations. She broke up our home. Her and her friend are the reason y'all grew up without a father. Fully acknowledging my role in that, of not being a good father or husband for a couple of years. Hopefully, y'all have everything that you need and want. I don't know, I've sent y'all numerous gifts, numerous letters over the years. I can prove it. The last time I saw y'all, I showed you the receipts. She intercepted all of them, to my knowledge. Maybe one or two got through. Did not tell y'all about them or let y'all have them. I don't know what she did with it. I sent Storm like a MetaQuest 2 headgear thing or something. And he never got that because he asked me if I could get him one when I saw him a couple of years ago, and I did. I've got it. It's your Christmas gift. Got all y'all's Christmas gifts still sitting in the closet. I mean, one thing that made me really mad was, my buddy Danny, because your mother was alleging all of this, violence and stuff. I had to see y'all under supervision, and I'll never do that again. But my buddy Danny, maybe some of y'all remember Mr. Roberts, best friend I ever had. He offered to do the visitation thing. And this man, who had been a big help to not just me, but my entire family, your mother made a deal with the court, made a big, hoo-ha about it, because he had been busted for selling weed in the past. And he was convicted felon, I guess. And so they made, why would she do that? I don't know. But instead, Danny's wife had to do it. So that, made it all better, I guess. And just little shit, man. Oh, before I forget, one thing that really let me know that this woman, this neighbor of ours, was gunning for me was I had shared concerns with her about a month before about your mother's thyroid. I was always on her ass to, let's go get that checked out, whatever. And I was confiding to this neighbor that I was really worried about your mother's thyroid. And she reported that to your mother as that I was talking about her being fat or something. I've never talked about your mother's weight, Lord, let alone to a stranger. I mean, a neighbor, but whatever. Anyhow, your mother and I, now we get divorced. I voluntarily pay $500 more than I have to every month because I want y'all to have the best in life. And I didn't want your mother to, have to struggle anymore than she had to. I know it's tough being a single parent with 4 kids, even with the government assistance. So anyhow, like I said, I want to make this video just because you never know how long you got, and I've had reason to think recently that things are speeding up. Again, maybe I'm being a hypochondriac. Maybe I'll live to be in my 80s. I hope not. But, it could fucking happen, I guess. Maybe the bigger lesson of all this, or one of the lessons for y'all, should be to not believe things that are told to you, point blank. Question things. Examine motives, I want y'all to know that I think about y'all every day. I love all of y'all. Sage, Willow, River, Storm. I'll always be your father. I'll always love you. Okay. If y'all ever need a kidney or something, you know how to get in touch with me. If you have any medical questions. And I'm not sure y'all will ever see this video. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But it's out there now. I guess I will post this. I think about the life that we could have had, guys. We could be living in Spring Hill. Y'all could have the best of everything. Instead, I had to below most of what I've had, not only fighting legal battles, but just setting myself up, so I could survive. I know in May of 2022, I asked your mother that I wanted Storm to, and y'all others, come over as part of his birthday the next month. That's when things broke down. She wanted the money. She did not want me to have interaction with the kids. And so, yeah, I stopped paying child support. It was something I didn't have to pay to begin with. I can't see my kids. I'm not giving you money. Let me see the kids and I'll give you money. But yeah, we could have had a much better life. I mean, my life now isn't that bad. I mean, really, besides missing y'all, my life's pretty good. I hang out with my dogs. I watch TV. I write. I love writing. Y'all know that. But yeah, I think about y'all a lot. Every day, each one of you. And for just a couple of seconds a day at least, I ask myself, I hope they're okay. I wonder what they're doing. What sadness is going on in their life. What joys, what triumphs. Denying a parent access to their child is a terrible thing to do. But especially when it's in purpose of some false narrative that you constructed to absolve yourself of destroying a family, destroying a home, because you wanted to, go date girls. I can't recommend y'all get married. I think it's a bad deal for men. But anyhow, I should have written stuff down because I don't like repeating myself, and I'm sure I'm just rambling in these videos. But I wanted to get that out there. I was far from perfect. But I have a lot to offer y'all. Both monetarily and in terms of, experiences. And I know y'all have been turned against me. I know y'all hate me. I'm no longer trying to reach out to y'all. Every time I do, you block me, ignore me, whatever. So, and with my health, I don't think I'll see y'all again. So I wish all of y'all a very good life. I hope that you're a better person than me. I hope you find a mate who is loyal, who sticks with you in the bad times. And I hope you stick with them in the bad times. Not, I'm not saying, accept abuse. Certainly not. But I never abused your mother. Even in the divorce thing, she said mental and financial abuse. I don't know what the fuck she means by that. She had a $500 purse, never had to work, had all her bills paid. I don't know what the financial abuse on that is. Mental abuse. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was an asshole, okay? I was a dickhead. But I was never abusive to your mother. Again, I never called her names, never played mind games with her. The only time I can think of when I actually got mad was one time she went to Arby's to pick us up like 8 sandwiches. It was 8 sandwiches. And I was the one who watched the finances. I saw that it cost $80. I was like, what in the hell? 10 sandwiches, $80? Come on now. So she had to go back, or I had to go back and get a refund. I was there. I don't remember if both of us drove or just what. So anyway, I think that's the most I got aggravated with your mom. Oh, and one time she left Willow, back when Willow was an only child, she left her in a stroller on a porch when we were in Midtown, and went back in the house. And I got mad about that because anybody driving along could have just snatched Willow up. But of course, this is coming from a man who once fed Willow a tiny little piece of bacon, and she nearly choked to death. So, parents make mistakes. In the end, I don't know. Tess, if you see this, which you probably won't, but if you do, I would ask you to, please stop what you're doing, lying about me, but it's done now. The damage is done. I hope that you were as financially comfortable, and I hope you are as financially comfortable as you were when we were together. I know you have to work, but I don't know, maybe you found somebody else to take care of you again. I hope you're happy. I don't hate you. This entire time, 7 years, 8 years, whatever it's been, I don't hate you, and I've never really blamed you for the divorce. I mean, I felt really bad about it, and I didn't realize what all was at play. At first, the first 3 or 4 years, never said I was real smart. I just hope you're at peace. I hope that everything you did was worth it. I hope our kids somehow, I know they didn't, but somehow got those same opportunities. Pianos, laptops on demand, private schools. And to my kids, I'm sorry that I didn't realize what was going on sooner. I was very self-absorbed when your mother and I separated. Then I got sick. No, I'm sorry. Danny died first. My mother died, Danny died, then I got sick. To where, I was having, I had a toe amputated and I was blind, legally blind. I couldn't sign paperwork for myself. And I was in the hospital for a long time for that. My mind's not good. I'm not sure why I started telling you that. Oh, yeah. So anyhow. My children, I'm sorry you view me as the enemy. I know that that other woman has been active in your lives, at least enough to, talk bad about me. That's a shame. And that's another reason I'm not naming anybody, because this couple has children. I'm not sure what all they know about their father, but I'm certainly not going to put a spotlight on it. They don't need to know anything negative about their father, and if he, it's not my place to tell them. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a long-ass video. It's been a while since I made one. I love you all very much. I hope to see you again one day before it's too late. But I'm not an optimist. Peace out.